Sie hören gerade Das Glück des Abgrunds.
The bliss of the abyss.
Once upon a time in a land far away, a poor farmer and his wife lived all alone. They were very lonesome.
Of the Abyss
With Robert Newmark Jones. Welcome to this week's episode of The Bliss of the Abyss. More bliss, less abyss. That's what I promise you this week, despite me having just vomited. So this episode is going to be a little bit strange because I'm feeling very unwell. So instead I've called upon a couple of guests to help me out, and I'm gonna sort of splice it together that way, so it's not going to be your usual bliss of the abyss. Oh, dun dun dun. However, I guarantee it will still be fun times for all. How are we all doing out there? You okay? You have a good weekend? What did you get up to? Big mouth noises there. What did you get up to? Where have you been? What have you been doing? I've got my eye on you. What did I do? Thanks for asking. Can't remember. I can't remember. Basically, last week I didn't drink a drop of alcohol and felt great. Brilliant. Had a really productive week. Shot and edited a movie. Second movie made this quarantine. Short film, but you know, who's counting? This one was 6 minutes, and I think it's good. And I'll put a link in the podcast episode. So yeah, I was firing on all cylinders. Really creative, eating healthy, exercising. And then Friday night, pizza night. And then Saturday night. And then Sunday night. Anyway, back on now. It's Caitlin's birthday this week, so I've got I'm gonna have her on the show and try and extract some information. See if I can work out what's the best way of playing it. Got some plans. Can't say anything in case she listens. Although, to be honest, if you lived with me, would you listen to my podcast? Fuck off. Don't make me listen to your podcast. As I understand it, people like to listen to this podcast when they are running, when they are in bed, when they are out doing gardening, and when they are out shopping. That's the feedback so far. As of yet, no one has told me that they've listened to it whilst having sex, which is my ultimate goal. I know sometimes the episodes are a bit wacky or a bit kooky or something, and maybe that doesn't help. But some people like to have wacky, kooky sex, wacky, kooky sex. But for those who want something a bit more traditional, down the pleasure route, here's a nice... Well, that just ruined the mood. I genuinely still feel very unwell, and I have to teach a class, and I'm worried. God, I feel so sick. You know what I need? I need an enema. What's the word? I need to enemize myself. Is that a word? Why not? Sure. If only I could enemize myself, or maybe a stomach pump. Good pop shield that, if you can hear the pop. Probably shouldn't be doing it anyway. So what else can I tell you about? I'm going to have, coming up on the show, I'm going to have Caitlin as a guest, and I'm also going to have Nils-Hennes, who is the man behind the music for the Bliss of the Abyss. He is a PhD. So, Professor Cast. That's right. We don't only have knobheads on this show. We also have educated knobheads. Let's talk to Nils. Say something at a normal rate.
I am saying something at a normal rate. That's normally my opening gambit.
Yeah, thanks for not saying something at a non-normal rate. That wouldn't make any sense.
The worst thing about that is I'll approach the beautiful person at the bar, and I will say that line. But ironically, it will be not at a normal rate, so then they just get confused, you know.
Speaking of the bar, have you been drinking alcohol?
As you mean during the lockdown?
Yeah.
Yes. The pertinent question is if I've been drinking more, I guess, or less.
Yeah. Has it moved the needle one way or another?
I don't think it has.
Just the whole bottle of Jack every night. That's it.
It's hard to go up from there, you know.
Right. When you finish a bottle, I mean, it would just be the most dedicated of alcoholics who are like, right, crack into the next one. You know, even hardcore ones have got to be like, I think that's enough for tonight or this morning, depending on, you know, what your vibe is.
Yeah.
So, tell me, Nils, is it true that the novel coronavirus, aka COVID-19, was created in a lab and spread via 5G so that Dr. Fauci could become rich because he's actually Bill Gates? This is just what I'm hearing on the internet.
Okay, so the claim is the conjunction of all of those things coming in.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a pretty safe bet to say that the conjunction of all of those is false. Whether one of them is true seems unlikely also.
Oh, all right, Mr. Stats. Prove anything with science, can't you?
It's very bizarre because I feel like I'm listening to your podcast, except it's interactive.
You can choose your next adventure.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like it.
Thanks, man.
Okay, my next adventure is it becomes the call-in show, and I am every single person who calls in.
Okay, caller, you are tuned into the Bliss of the Abyss. I've got Rachel from Hull. Hello, Rachel.
Gerrard and Lampard, they just don't play together.
And yet they kept going for years. Quick question, Rachel. Do you identify as a man? No time for that. Our next caller is Sven from Svendon. Hello, Sven, you're on the air.
It's pronounced Sveen.
Hello, Sven, you're on the sphere. Sven had to go. Our next caller is Nils-Hennes Stear from Reverse World.
It's pronounced Sveen. You hung up on me.
Yeah, too many pedants.
I think you got Frank Lampard on line 4.
Thank you, producer Sven. Let me just Frank, you're on the air.
Lampard and Gerrard, they just don't work together. I don't know why they keep playing him, okay? It just doesn't work.
So to be clear, Frank, you refer to yourself as Lampard?
No. That's how I refer to my father, and I've been wildly misinformed about the tactical choices of the England national football team circa 2003.
That makes sense. Lampard Senior. Thank you very much for being on the show. What do you think of the FC Seoul thing? Did you see that?
No. Tell me about it.
So you know how they've reopened their sports?
In South Korea?
In South Korea, yeah. So the 2016 K-League winners, FC Seoul, inadvertently, now remember that word, inadvertently used sex dolls rather than mannequins to help fill empty stands this weekend.
What is this? I'm sorry. Rather than mannequins?
Yeah, mate.
What? They were filling their stadium with mannequins?
Yeah, have you not seen it? It's not. Some of them are mannequins. I've seen it in restaurants. I've seen it in South Korea. Also opened up baseball, and they didn't use mannequins. They used cardboard cutout. It's an awful idea.
It's like, you know, when they put mirrors around flamingos because when they're in larger flocks, they breed more.
No, I didn't know that. That's an excellent piece of trivia. Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So, if you have a flock of flamingos in a zoo or whatever and they're just not getting it on, then one solution... I mean, I haven't checked in. This is like...
You're not a doctor.
They were doing this, Maybe it was some nutter with a bogus idea and they started breeding less. But the thought was, you put mirrors around them so they're like, oh, there's tons of flamingos here. For some reason, that makes me want to copulate more.
Whereas opposed to when there's like just one or two, you're like, no, I don't really fancy getting off with that fucking chump.
Who are we doing it for? Who are we really doing it for? But it's like that, except with human beings. It's very...
Yeah, does it work? I mean, do the mannequins make us have sex? Is that what it is?
That seems to run contrary to the whole ethos behind social distancing.
You can't really social distance and have a gangbang, can you? That's one of the big problems with the modern era.
Could do the card swiping stick.
What?
If you go through... Not that I've done this. When you go through like a drive-through or whatever... I wasn't even about to say something you thought it. When you go through like a Burger King drive-through or something...
Sure, maybe you do, but...
We're learning a lot about what you do, Nils.
So, on your regular commute through the Burger King drive-thru, what happens?
Yeah, they'll put like the card reader machine on a large stick, and insert it into your car, right? So anyway, the not very funny thought was that somehow you might be able to carry out the bang gang, the gang bang. Fuck it.
That went off the rails in so many different ways. I'm not even sure what's going on anymore. The bang gang. Now, of course, before I said that you weren't a doctor, but the actual truth is you are a doctor. However, do you ever introduce yourself as Dr. Nils?
Mostly to my kids.
Call me doctor.
There is a petty part of me that resents when I get letters from a bank or something.
That they don't.
It says Mr. And you'd be like, pretty sure I updated that. Or for some fault of their own, there were lots of obstacles in the way. They had to fill in too many forms to let them know.
Now, of course, you're not a medical doctor, and therefore you're not a doctor at all. So shut up. Yeah. No, I sympathise. It takes many years to become a doctor. You'd think by now the Postal Service would give you the respect you deserve. For some reason, Amazon, years ago, allowed me to call myself a rabbi. And so everything I get from Amazon is to Rabbi Robin Jones. It's quite good.
Is the title of a rabbi?
No, it's priest. Yes, of course. Well, what do you mean?
I don't know. It could be like, there could be some old Latin abbreviation or something.
Rabbus?
Yeah. Or maybe some letters at the end of your name. Anyway, continue.
Is there a way for you to summarise what must be, 10 to 40,000 word academic essay on aesthetics in a humorous 2-minute clip?
If I could do it in 2 minutes, I doubt very much it'll be humorous.
Boo! Okay, fine. A humorous 30-second clip?
Oh god, the pressure. That's just made it harder. If I couldn't do humorous 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Was it like, I'm sorry, the time period is too long for comedy? Was it
I thought if I kept winnowing it down, maybe 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Yeah, go on.
It was 3 separate papers, so, okay. Is the clock going?
None of that was funny. The clock...
No. I demand there be a countdown clock sound.
Okay.
Do this.
Okay. In post.
Yeah, of course.
I'll be keeping track of time. What have you got? 5 seconds, right?
5 seconds. Let me just remember.
Okay, fair enough. Have a bit of homework quickly. Just mental homework. No looking up documents.
Okay.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds to prepare. It's quite a lot of pressure, actually. I feel bad for you.
Yeah. So do I have 10 seconds to deliver as well?
I won't be strict with the 5 seconds, but in editing, I will ruthlessly cut you.
Well, my thesis, that's all we have time for today.
Are you ready?
Funny. Okay, yeah.
Okay, 3, 2...
If you were doing the finger one and then the action.
I was.
Face,
I was.
Okay. Let's try that again. I will imagine that because I can obviously,
Okay.
count down after 2.
3,
I have a PhD.
2, 1, action.
Okay, you can kind of imagine anything you like. It turns out seductive artworks, even though they prescribe unmerited responses, they're not aesthetically flawed as a result of it. We care about the outcomes of sports and competitive games, not as a form of make-believe, but literally.
It was quick, and that by itself is entertaining. Fast things are entertaining. The amount of jokes in it was slim, I would say, to none.
Well, I think for philosophical insiders, they'll appreciate that there were a couple of real nuggets.
Is that a technical term?
Yes. Here are children. Yeah, what's up? That's eine Spinne. Okay.
It's a very big one.
Eine große Spinne. Okay, kannst du ein Glas holen und die Spinne wegmachen?
Long legs, but it's above the television.
Okay, kannst du einfach da lassen, ne?
No. Who are you talking to?
Ich rede gerade mit Rob. Nein, ich habe meine Kopfhörer drin.
Hallo.
It's earphones. You have to say hello to me. You put them in? Got them? Hang on.
Hello, Rob.
Hello. How are you?
Good.
What have you been doing today?
Colouring with Axel, making a love heart, and making presents for Dad, and drawing a witch on a broom.
Wow. Does the witch have a name?
Katerina.
Ha ha ha. Very original. Where did you come up with that?
There is a car on the broom and a television and a daddy face and a box and a picture, and the pictures go inside the box, and there's a bathtub, and you can sometimes put the picture inside there. So inside the bathtub, it goes down the drain, and then it goes out of the tap, and then it has plastic out of the tap.
Plastic out of the tap. Everything makes perfect sense. Why are you making presents for Nils? What's going on? Or Daddy, as you like to call him.
Because he's our father.
Oh, that's an excellent reason to make presents.
And we watched Twirly Woos.
You did what?
Watched Twirly Woos.
Twy-woos. Is that a TV show?
Twirly Woos.
Twirly-woos? Should I know what that is?
Twirly-woos.
What's twirly-woos?
They're little ducks.
Okay, they're little ducks and you watch them.
Red and blue and yellow. They have feet like ducks.
Do you like flamingos?
I like watching Twirly Woos.
Do you think I should watch twirly-woos as well, or would I not like it?
Like it.
You think I'd like it? Hey,
Yeah.
Katerina, what would you say is the best thing about me?
Huh?
What would you say is the best thing about me?
Watching Twirly Woos.
Okay, you see that?
Yeah.
Hey, she's gone.
Say, now she's gone.
Now she's gone, yeah. She just told me to inform you that now she's gone. Kannst du die Tür zumachen, Katerina? Dankeschön.
I heard. That was good. Did you hear any of what I was saying to her?
No, all I can hear is the responses.
At one point, I asked her what she thought the best thing about me was, and she said, twirly-woos. So, that's a one-track brain.
Is it a one-track brain, or was it has found something redeeming about something else. Yeah.
I do often have this sort of feeling when talking to someone who is very young that really you are incidental and
Yes.
they are just going to talk about what is in their mind anyway.
You're just a prop.
Yes. Is that
Yeah.
accurate?
Yeah, and actually we've come full circle because I think that's how spectators to sporting events should feel now that they've been substituted with mannequins.
Very good. Sex mannequins, no less. Would it?
Sex dolls. Yeah.
Sex doll. How did they? Did some joker at the warehouse just decide? You know what? Fuck it. I mean, how did they end up with one?
I don't know, but you have to wonder how dysfunctional does an economy have to be and a society when you can get hold of not only more sex dolls than mannequins, but enough sex dolls to comfortably fill a stadium.
I wonder, were they filled or were they socially distanced dolls? You know, they don't want to send out the wrong message.
I'm not talking to Rob again. I'm still talking to Rob. She just said, sorry, she said, where's Caitlin? Oh, man.
I mean, when I asked what the best thing about me was, I did expect her to say Caitlin.
Hang on a sec.
Dad,
Yeah.
I wanted to call Caitlin because she said that maybe tomorrow you can call me.
Okay. Können wir vielleicht später machen, ja?
No, I want to call Caitlin.
Accept yes for an answer, buddy. I said, yeah, maybe later. Not right now.
Can't do it right now. She's at work. I'm sure she'd be happy to later.
Sie arbeitet gerade, also kann sie nicht mit dir reden, okay? So, kannst du mich jetzt in Ruhe lassen und dann können wir später mit Caitlin reden, ja? Vielleicht. Ja, und Jake sehen wir auch ja gleich, ja? Okay, lass mich jetzt in Ruhe, damit ich habe nur ein paar Minuten Zeit. So, raus und Tür zu, bitte. She's like sauntering backwards, half dancing. Come on, Sammy.
Tell me what.
I did, yeah.
Tell her I've got the message. I'll pass it on.
He's got the message. Yeah, he'll pass it on to Caitlin. Okay, Tür zu, bitte. Katharina.
The patience required.
It's just, I mean, I wish I could give you visuals now.
What have we got? Explain the scene.
Well, I didn't want to explain it until she was actually gone. Cause
Yeah,
otherwise, that would
otherwise feeding the fire.
feel the flames of annoyance. She was just holding a hand between the door and the wall with a remote control in it and waving it around, going, goo, 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 goo. That was it.
Still, not bad stuff.
She's gone. She's gone, thank God.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like your life is insanely difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
Before you go, can you say a variety of things in German that I can splice up and use for comedic effect?
Give me, narrow it down a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of domain of discourse are we?
You can freestyle if you want, or I can give you specific phrases. How would you like to play it?
Yeah, specific phrases or just general
Cool.
direction. That would the freestyle. There's too many options.
Too many options. That's the length and breadth of German for you. Can you say? You're listening to Putin's podcast?
Sie hören gerade Putin's podcast.
That's really good.
I do radio sounds too.
Absolutely.
All right, next one's coming with radio sounds.
Okay, this is really exciting. Can you say you are listening to The Bliss of the Abyss?
Sie hören gerade The Bliss of the Abyss. Bliss, bliss, bliss. Bliss of the Abyss.
Is that all on the mic?
What do you mean? Was that all on the mic?
As in, your face made those sounds just now.
Yeah.
You have a talent, my friend.
Yeah. Breakfast radio.
This whole, doctor thing, forget that. You could be making silly noises on the radio at 6 a.m.
Wasn't Dr. Fox?
Hold on.
Radio.
Hold on a second. I think we've cracked it. He was, I believe, a chiropractor, which is not technically.
Sorry, just an apology to all the chiropractors who are listening.
No, I'm not going to apologise to the chiropractors who are listening. You're frauds. How about that? Now, question. When I asked you to say you are listening to The Bliss of the Abyss, why were the words The Bliss of the Abyss in English?
Because it's a proper name.
But I need to crack into the lucrative Deutsche market.
Abgrund.
Ooh.
Der Abgrund. Okay, The Bliss of the Abyss. So we're going to need the genitive case. So, Glück, I'm guessing is just das Glück. Right. So, stay at home, don't stay at home. Abyss is Abgrund. And bliss, it was just translating as Glück, which... Okay, so do you want me to say you're listening to The Bliss of the Abyss?
In German. And really commit.
Okay. Sie hören gerade das Glück des Abgrunds.
Really good. Can I have some radio sounds as well? We're grown men.
Wow. That's all I got.
You're an idiot. Well, this has been absolutely delightful. I've got fucking half an hour of audio that I've got to try and trim down. Jesus.
I've noticed that each edition of your podcast gets a bit longer, with the exception of one.
Yeah, I know. I have to. It's as it gets hotter, I just have less inclination to edit. It's the reality. But don't worry, I'll manage. I'll snip you right down to a minute, mate. It won't be.
Okay. Yeah.
Good. And then I'll do a professional goodbye. How about that?
Okay. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a euphemism?
Are you ready for your professional goodbye?
How much extra for the professional goodbye?
1,000 gil. Nils, thank you very, very much for being a guest. Would you come back?
Of course, anytime.
Tough shit, you're not welcome. Been lovely to talk to you, mate. All right, take care, brother.
All right, cheers, man. Bye.
Oh, God. Oh. You know when you know you're going to be sick? I'm going to throw up. Why? Oh, God. Welcome back.
Hello.
First returning guest, Caitlin Marie Bahrey.
The only returning guest.
Hopefully. I'm stockpiling floodgates into heaven.
And people are knocking on St. Peter's door.
Is that how it works? Do they knock? That's very polite.
I don't know. I think they definitely have to wait, and then St. Peter, if people believe in him, judge their ass.
And if they don't believe in him?
One time when I was a Lutheran, I said to my pastor, I was like, what if someone just doesn't believe in heaven? Who's to say that they're wrong if they believe in something else and they're perfectly, moral and upstanding person in society? And she wrote a whole sermon about it. And she said, she was like, well, they'll be brought along, they'll see the light, basically, at the end of the tunnel. They'll see the truth when they die. And I was like, fuck this shit. Because, how do we know our truth is correct? You know what I mean? I just didn't like the idea. It's like, well, essentially they're wrong, so they're going to come around to God.
Right. But she wasn't going full on, no, they're going to hell.
No, she wasn't like
so
that at
good.
all. She was a really lovely lady, but...
Fuck her.
Heck 'em. It just didn't sell me on Christianity anymore after that, and she really did try to account for all the doubts I was having.
You're listening to Biblecast.
Yeah,
Now-
last time I sang about the Bible. This is
Okay, and last time you were on the show, you did do a Bible song,
yeah.
and I did tweak the audio to make it extra fast.
Yeah.
I have a challenge. Can you try and sing it that fast in real life, and then I'm also going to tweak it and make it extra fast?
Okay. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Romans, Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Thessalonians, Titus, and Philemon, and James, Peter, John, the Revelation. That's the word of God.
Look at these nuts!
Let's check out these nuts.
Speaking of check out these nuts, I am currently naked.
And I am not.
So, what do you think about that?
He also just threw up.
Yep. This is the Me Too podcast. This is how you get a job in this town, Toots.
I'll stick it.
I did brush my teeth after.
Yeah, he did. I just.
Did it take? There's nothing wrong with smelling your loved one's mouth.
Yeah, we smell a lot of things on each other. It's really strange.
I'm going to cut that out.
I'm sure that lots of couples smell each other.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm sure they always smell each other's armpits. You should just smell my armpit. Stop it.
Fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, of course. Ding! If you were a flower, what flower would you be? A pansy?
Did you prepare that ahead of time?
No.
If I were a flower, what would I be? I'm going to be... Is it called Rafflesia?
Oh god, you're shooting for the moon. Rafflesia. That sounds like Raphael. Oh god. Is that the one that stinks as well? You know, like eats bugs that fall in the middle of it?
Yeah, and it's the biggest one in the world.
Yeah, of course that's what you'd be.
I'm huge, I stink, and I eat bugs.
Extra protein.
Now, if you were a flower, which one would you be? A pansy.
A chrysanthemum.
Why did you have the answer ready?
I thought about it, and I couldn't identify a chrysanthemum if I saw it in the street. It just has a cool name. I mean, I'd love to be what's that one I always forget that starts with P?
What's the one that you're thinking of? It's called Phylum, Phileus, Pollux,
No.
Plebeium.
No.
Plebeium. It's plumbago.
Yay, well done.
Let's try a better high five. Well, welcome back to the show. What are your thoughts?
I think it's been too long since I was invited back.
How would you know? Have you listened to the most recent episode?
I definitely haven't. I've listened to the one before
Well,
with Cat's Russian, but I
Very good.
definitely have not listened to the last one, so I do not know how many bay leaves you've snuck into our food.
maybe that's why I just threw up. I think
Your
we've
bay limit.
hit the limit.
You should call your bay section Baywatch.
That's true, actually. What am I thinking?
The Big Lebayski.
The big... Caitlin, we made a movie together.
Yes.
HBDJ, it was
Yeah.
called. Feedback has been, I would say, positive.
People seem to like us making movies. It's a good way to spend the time, pass the time, both.
Sure.
And the next movie, I think, will I feel now like I'm a Watson or something, like on a talk show, like pitching my next movie.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
The hosts on talk shows are always naked.
so I think.
So, Emma.
Yeah. Yes.
How did you find the experience of filming Twilight? Harry Potter.
I filmed Twilight, so. Curses spoiled again.
Who was your favourite co-star?
Tom Felton. That's rumored that they had a thing going on, so I'm like, that's like inside knowledge.
Okay, you just stepped out of character there.
Yeah.
Or are you still talking about yourself? It's rumoured they had a thing.
I had a thing with
Emma?
Tom Felton growing up. Yeah, so we're going to be making.
Would you mind not yelling on my podcast? What do you want? No, the podcast. This is my new favourite funny voice to do. Hey, keep it down over there. Hey, buddy, keep it down. I'm not gonna keep it down. Some of us are trying to sleep, buddy. Some of us are trying to live our lives, buddy. You see?
That's really good.
It is good.
So we're going to be doing horror. Horror. Say horror.
Why can't you
Five
ever pronounce
times.
that word? What is it?
Horror.
What about terror? Say terror.
Terror. Terror. Terror. Terror.
You get into this feedback loop every time you have to. What's another word that is like error? Error.
That's an error.
Oh, that's some good confidence behind
Aurora
it.
is hard for me. Why can't I do it? Our next horror film will be called Aurora's Error.
Starring Rory.
Starring Rory.
Now do the whole thing.
Our next horror story will be called Aurora's Error, starring Rory McRorson. Oh, man.
Sorry, I'm just drinking some water because I just threw up.
It's vodka. He's drinking on the job.
I don't think we should buy that Portuguese wine ever again.
I love that Portuguese wine. So we went to this off license, and off licenses are often the best. And we walked in, and it had all these random things from 1982, and I wanted to buy all of them, including a really shitty watering can, and Rob wouldn't let me get it because he said it was a piece of shit.
Because I control the purse strings.
Anyway, so I almost bought the watering can.
Ow, Caitlin.
And we got this really nice garlic-infused olive oil that they only had one bottle of, and we had Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is only really available in the States, so I don't know how they smuggled it into the country. And then they had an entire wall of Portuguese wine. Now, Portuguese wine, you might think it would be easy to get because we're in Europe, but we are not in Europe, dear friends. We are...
Okay, Caitlin, I've told you before, this isn't the place to spout off your anti-immigrant Brexit
Whatever happened
stuff.
to Brexit? We're always like, COVID.
You miss Brexit?
Okay, so I go into the store and they have all this freaking Portuguese stuff where they should have good old English. No, it was amazing. All these Portuguese wines that I couldn't find for Rob's birthday because remember, I made him black out with this really expensive Portuguese port.
There's a bad theme going on here. I seem to be losing the plot, and you're aiding and abetting.
Yeah, well, I could have gotten all this really nice Portuguese wine, but I didn't know it existed because it doesn't. We found these box wines that were Portuguese, and they were 5 liters, which is 6 bottles, you said?
Almost 6, yeah.
And the whole thing cost, so it was like 6 bottles of wine in a box. Classy. And we bought it, and I could barely pick it up, right?
Yeah.
It cost $14.75, the whole
Right.
bottle. Box. And that equated to how much per bottle?
Roughly £2.20.
A bottle. And we tried that wine, and it was good.
It was good.
It didn't taste like, the crap that you need to oxidize. Fun fact, for all those people out there who buy really cheap wine, you can save it because they have tannins that get activated, flavor tannins that get reactivated if you put the wine in a blender. So if you have really shitty wine or wine that's kind of sat out for a while, put it in a blender for about 10 seconds and it will make your wine taste better. It'll be like it's decanted.
Culinary tips with Caitlin. Very nice. I think I'll get a bed for that. I'll get a little intro bit for it.
Culinary tips with Caitlin. It's going to sound like that.
It can do if you want it to. Make it sound sort of lovely.
And now for culinary tips with Caitlin. Ding, ding.
Yeah.
No, you need to have like a knife sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
And then when
What
the
about-
moon hits your eye
What
like...
about Caitlin's Culinary Corner?
That's pretty damn good, but I don't want to only talk about food. in
I
my
know.
culinary
No, it'll
corner.
just be a segment.
I do want to talk about knives.
Wait, in Culinary... Welcome to Caitlin's Culinary Corner. First off, I don't want to talk about food. Alright? Pigeonhole me.
And now for Caitlin's Culinary Corner. Yeah, but now I'm going to get pigeonholed into talking about pies and knives.
It's a strange pigeonhole to get into. But, if you're in a pigeonhole and you've got a pie, having a knife, great.
Pigeon's delicious.
I thought you didn't want to talk about food in Caitlin's Culinary
Okay,
Corner.
but this is what I'm here for. So, if you ever get squab on the menu, that's pigeon, and it's really good. I had a squab pate once, and it had the little BBs in it still, and I didn't realize what it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
like
because
the
I bought it
shot.
from a market.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I bought it from a marketplace, and they had it. It was really good, but at the same time really freaky because it kind of reminded you of the poor thing.
The answer to what buckshot is made of doesn't appear to be interesting. Now, Caitlin, before you leave the show,
He's kicking me out.
I have a question for you.
No.
Fine. Goodbye then.
No, please.
Fine, leave like that.
Please, I have commitment issues.
On Thursday, it's your birthday.
Yeah.
Tell me your thoughts about quarantine birthday. What are your hopes? What are your fears?
It's a weird quarantine birthday to have though, because it's the 30th, so that one's meant to be special. It's like someone turning 21 and or 30. Those are like the big ones. 21 would be even worse, I think.
Well, 18 is the big
Oh,
one.
18's here, sorry, yeah.
But 21 in the States. Yeah.
But like 30 is the next like big hurrah.
Yeah.
And then it's 50. So my thoughts are, I'm staying positive because you're doing a lot of beautiful work for it. It's going to be nice. But I went from sunny to sunny with clouds to lightning. So it just went to lightning now. That's all it says. And so I asked Rob if he's bringing Zeus to my party.
That's right. I will be bringing Zeus and an A-lister to Caitlin's party.
Because Zeus is not an A-lister. I thought he was the OG A-lister, but you know.
Zeus is Z-list.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's a terrible joke.
So I'm very much looking forward to my birthday and seeing all the hard work that you've put into it. That in of itself is the gift.
It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
That's what they often say. And
Yeah.
that's why they call me cheap. Cool. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm sure people didn't like hearing us kiss.
No, I'll cut out the kiss.
Okay.
Let's do it again though.
Once more with feeling.
Okay, that's all we've got time for this week. I hope you've enjoyed this slightly different, cobbled together show. Service should be back to normal next week, and I'm working on having a guest. And the audio should be better for that. So stick with me. I'm still learning the ropes here a bit as we go, and I hope this week was good. I hope it was average. I hope it was shit. No, I hope it was brilliant. Well, tick one of those boxes. Choose your own adventure. I sincerely hope that today is a wonderful day in your life, because it sucks in mine. Oh God, I feel sick again. Oh. Genuinely think I might vomit later during the middle of class. Oh God. But seriously, as they say, what a week it will be for you. I can envisage big things in your future. Close your eyes. See yourself. Where will you be? Who am I? Who are you? I don't know. I don't have the answers for everything. I tell you what I do have the answers for, and that's how to find some bliss in the abyss. Let's look together. Hey, let's look together. Hey. Is there any way of doing that and not being creepy? Oh my God, I might throw up again. Right, I absolutely actively need to stop recording, because every time I talk for a sustained period of time, I want to vomit. And I don't want to vomit, but my body is like, well, how about we try vomiting? So instead of that, I'm just going to say goodbye, and I'm going to jump up and down loads and see if that helps, because apparently it doesn't make you want amazing. I love you very much. I love you so much. Will you marry me? See you next week. Thank you for listening to the show. That was The Bliss of the Abyss. All music provided by the incredibly talented Nils-Hennes Stear. If you have anything you'd like to say, positive or negative, send it to theblissoftheabyss@gmail.com, and I'll see you soon.
Message 1. Hey, Nils, it's me. She's calling to see if maybe you're in now, but I guess not, so I guess I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. Talk to you then. Bye.